Starting the session, we're looking at Alpha Centauri, a star in Centaurus. It's a very bright star. It's also called Regal Centaurus, and I've used it to do my star alignment and to focus the telescope and to make sure that the camera is oriented properly north, south, east, west, with the diffraction spikes going straight up and down and straight left to right. Now, time to move to a beautiful spiral galaxy called the Southern Pinwheel in the southern skies here, and it has the catalogue name of Messier 83. So we'll go to the telescope control program and we'll select the object Messier 83 and tell the telescope to slew to it. And so off it goes.
Telescope slew complete.
And there we've arrived at Messier 83. Now, I know it doesn't look like anything very much at the moment, but we're only using a 4-second exposure. You can see each exposure cycling around down the bottom here. I really would like to compose the image better. There I know is the galaxy. That's the core of the galaxy there. And I'd really like it to be somewhere up over here, so these two stars will balance the composition a bit down here. So, leaving it as it is for the moment and remembering that that's the galaxy, we'll go back to the telescope control software and move the image up a bit.
Telescope
I want
slew
it to be
complete.
about there. Yes, that's about right. And I want it to move it over to about here.
Telescope slew complete. Telescope slew complete.
That's about right. So there's the galaxy, and here are the two stars. They can come down a little bit. I think I've gotten just a tad too high.
Telescope slew
There we
complete.
are. Okay. Right. Now, I think a 60-minute exposure, sorry, a 60-second exposure is called for. So I'll change the exposure setting to 60 seconds. It's going to take 60 seconds to complete the bar down there. In the meantime, let's have a look at some of the camera control features here. The gain, camera gain, I've set it to quite an aggressive setting of 400. You can see the button is quite a long way to the right on the slider bar, but that's acceptable for the quality of the camera we're using. As to the thermal controls, it's a cooled camera, and I've set the cooling to on. I've asked the temperature to be minus 10 degrees Celsius, and in fact it has already reached minus 10 degrees Celsius, so that's okay. Down here for pre-processing, I have already selected a suitable dark frame and a suitable flat frame, so that's okay too. Coming up to the end of the first exposure there, yes, 60 minutes, and that looks pretty good. Alright, so we'll go to live stacking. I'll start the ball rolling there by typing in a name for the stack, M83, and we'll click the live stack button. Right, there is the first 60-second exposure. I'd like to make sure that the color channels are properly balanced with the peaks all together. I'm going to use this little automatic setting button, and that will change it slightly, and that's fine. And I'm going to drag the left hand slider bar in the histogram over to the left a bit, and we'll just drag this one over here to the right, sorry, to the left. That one came to the right. Alright. The reason for doing that, I'll come back to the reasons for those in a minute, but I want to go to a pretty aggressive. So have a look at the picture between the stars. You see it's a bit grainy, it's not smooth and flat, and that's a result of noise generated by the camera. Now this camera I'm using is a very good camera and it doesn't generate very much noise, but any camera will generate noise, and the object of the stacking is to get rid of the noise. So when the second of the two images is stacked onto the first, you should see that this background here becomes an awful lot smoother, and with 3 stackings it's even smoother still, and greater still with 4 stackings, etc., etc. So we're coming up to the end of the second image. There we are, we've stacked 2, and you can immediately see that the background now is an awful lot smoother than it was before. Right, let's go back to full frame. And these slider bars here on the histogram, if we put this one over at the far left and we put this one here, so we've got a straight line, adjustment line going there, then what we're picking up in the image is all of the information in this area of the histogram, but we really don't want that. What we want is just this bit here in the histogram. So if we bring the left hand bar across to the right, we're cutting away all of the information down here, and we're making the darkest part of the true image here the darkest place in the image. So the blackest black is now here, the whitest white is over there, and if we bring the central slider across, it brightens the image nicely, and we can see more detail. Now it's a question of finicking the process just to get as much detail and contrast as we can, and that's not looking too bad at all. What we can do is have a look at the image without the histogram panel there, and maybe we can zoom into 100%, shall we? And let's just bring the galaxy into the center there, and that's not looking too bad at all. Now if we bring the histogram back, if I bring the slider bar across, it brightens the image, and if I bring this one to the left a bit, it'll give us a more contrasty one there, like that, and that's not looking too bad at all. Now there is an enhancement page in this LifeStack panel, and it allows for sharpening of the image, and there are a couple of methods of sharpening that it offers, but one is the unsharp mask method, and if I select that, you can see that we have got a sharper image. We take it off and you can see, compare. If I increase the aggressiveness of it, yep, that's not looking too bad at all. If I was to bring that slider up, I don't want to do too much because I'm also sharpening the background here, and I don't really want to do that. It's getting fairly noisy, so we'll take that one back a little bit there, and that's not too bad at all. Right, and in the histogram we might see if we can increase the saturation or not. No, I think about there. I think that's about right. Yeah, it's about right. So, what have we got? We've got Messier 83, a beautiful barred spiral galaxy. Very bright nucleus here. Lovely spiral arms coming out from the ends of the galaxy. This is gas and dust, star forming areas in here. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Okay, I think that's probably sufficient to show what the process of viewing a deep sky object is with using the E.A.A. technique. What I'll do now is I'll just save the image that we have captured. What have we captured here? We've captured 8 frames in the stack, and I'll simply ask it to save. Number of saving options, I'll just use this one here, and that will save the image off to file, so we can look at it later. I can open that image straight away, and it's going to open it up in Photoshop. And there is the image, which we can have a look at some later time again. Right, we'll put that one away. And I think that's probably as far as I need to go with this little demonstration of how to use E.A.A.